Like I said, this is a two-part video, and here's my thoughts on Nintendo. Oh damn. Nintendo didn't do a digital event this year, nor did they have a stage show. It was just basically the shit they had between what they usually would, which would be just Treehouse and some developers talking about stuff. You know, fuck the Treehouse, burnt down, but you take what you can get. They spent a bit too much time talking about Pokemon. We get it, it's Pokemon. Just show us some new Pokemon and just get on with it. Leave some of the new shit up to us to discover for ourselves. And before we talk about Zelda, I want to bitch about Paper Mario, and I'm going to be bitching extremely. I'm trying not to get angry, but look what we have to work with, God damn it. It's not just the fact that it's not an RPG anymore, it's the fact that it sucks. The humor, the style, the spark, the heart, it's all gone. From the first three games, it's all gone. I mean, Sticker Star was just not even a fucking Paper Mario game in my opinion, because it was so goddamn different and just was so, forgive the pun here, flat. It was just bad. Bad from beginning to end. And this is just more of that. And it's not even RPG anymore. They came out and friggin' say, if you want an RPG, stick with the Mario and Luigi saga. Yeah, because those haven't been on a steady decline in quality in the past couple of installments. It just pisses me off to see that they're not making the game what it should be. I mean, I probably wouldn't have a problem with the concept of, what do you call it, Color Splash, if it looked good or had the humor and writing the past couple of games had. Like, remember Paper Mario 2? How you were in the WWE or solved a murder on a train? That was fun. That was interesting. That was different. Not original, of course, but hey, what's originality? It was original in the way they took it, and it was original in the Paper Mario universe and the Mario universe in general. But none of that looks like it's there in friggin' Color Splash. And as soon as I say this, I heard that Nintendo has rumors like, hey, if fans demand it, we'll re-release Thousand Year Door. Which, you're going to remaster it? It doesn't really need that much remastering. Just put it on the Virtual Console, you idiots. Like, pretty much the Paper Mario aesthetic from Thousand Year Door doesn't need that much polish because it's all stylized and papery. You don't really need to make things too... You don't really need to make the backgrounds too stylized or too good looking, otherwise it's going to clash with the paper sprites we got for the characters. And also, don't give me a George Lucas special edition feelings if you're just going to add some of the new Paper Mario mechanics to that, because that will completely piss all over Thousand Year Door. But if they do release a remastering and they don't really fuck with what made Paper Mario 2 so goddamn spectacular and one of my top 3 favorite games of all time, then we should buy that instead of Color Splash and send them a message that no, we don't want the new Paper Mario because the new Paper Mario stuff sucks ass. That's about it. I didn't really care about much for the other games aside from Zelda and Pokemon. Though I heard good things about Yokai Watch. I saw a clip or so from the anime and that was pretty funny. Maybe the game might be good. Probably not going to play it no matter what though. But yeah, let's move on to Zelda. First things first, Breath of the Wild is a generic fucking title. At first I thought it was going to be like an item or a spirit you had to get, but no, they literally wanted to change that conviction of Zelda 2. Because you know how Zelda's subtitles from Ocarina on have all been items or people. Phantom Hourglass, Twilight Princess, the Ocarina of Time, Skyward Sword, you get it. So I thought Breath of the Wild was a thing we'd have to find, but no, it's just an encapsulation of the new thing, of the new open worldness or whatever. But my god, Breath of the Wild is so goddamn generic a title. But as of right now, that's my only complaint. I am very much pumped, still a little bit trepidatious about what's going to happen. Did I use that word properly? Probably not. It looks great. I mean, I'm pretty much sold on the gameplay. I just want to know more about the story. I didn't see all of what they had to do because I had to record that podcast I had with Jamarcus earlier. But it looks fun, it looks entertaining, and Link's adorable, he always is. Especially in this game. There's not really much I can say positively about it that hasn't already been said by a lot of people. The combat looks fun, the armor or clothing is interesting. The Sheikah Slate is pretty much your Wii U tablet. And the world's big, yeah. I just hope the dungeons are fun and inventive and they don't get all that repetitive. To me, thinking about it, and the first person you meet is the old man, it seems like they're trying to like redo Zelda 1, where you were just in a big old open deserty looking field with a forest over there, and you're just trying to explore and find the dungeon that wouldn't kill you the minute you walked in. Because I can only beat Zelda 1 with a friggin' guide, because I know where nothing is. But this looks like to be something akin to that. Apparently there's also like boss monsters. I don't know if you remember in the trailer, when it had like one of the big views of like a mountainside, there was a big old Star-Lord looking motherfucker just walking past. Apparently you can fight bosses just out in the wild, so this game could very much look to kick your ass if you're not prepared for an open world experience. That being said, a lot of people, not a lot of people, because a lot of people are just overwhelmed by how good it looks and how good they think it is, but some people, a little bit of myself included, are thinking that the openness of this, the fact that you have to eat to replenish hearts, it looks like there's a hunger bar, this may not feel like Zelda, which is kind of the point they're going with this, but I didn't really feel that the Zelda formula really needed to be reinvented. I don't know if they're taking like some of the negative reviews that Skyward Sword got to heart, but people didn't hate Skyward Sword because it was linear or another Zelda game that had the same, ticked off the same checklist that all the other Zeldas had. They hated, people like me hated Skyward Sword just because the narrative sucked. It was repetitive and it looked like ass and it controlled like ass. We didn't have a problem with it being just another Zelda game. It's kind of what we play the Zelda games for. We want more of the same, but a bit new of a twist on it, like Twilight Princess with the wolf shit, or the time reset mechanic we got in Majora. I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but if it loses too much of it in this Skyrim Xenoblade-like setting, it could end up backfiring immensely. I know Zelda's fans are pretty much not just Zelda fans, but Nintendo fans as a whole are religious fanatics to the company, but you messed this up and you're going to go the way of Sega. Because I'm also going to address what some other YouTubers I like, Far From Subtle and Lyle, said. Lyle McDouchebag. They didn't, this is more Far From Subtle than Lyle, but they didn't say anything about the NX. Not a damn thing. And I'm not sure if that's a good... Apparently the Tokyo Game Show, they're going to reveal everything about the NX, but the fact that they didn't do that in E3 is a little bit head-scratching. According to, like, Fraser from Far From Subtle, he thinks that Nintendo might not give a shit about E3 anymore, which is bad for them, because you see how many people are talking good about Sony's press conference. And I think I said this in the podcast with Jamarcus, but Sony is getting a lot of good press because they just talked about games the whole time. Very little, there was no cringy Ubisoft bullshit, there was no technical executive speak, they didn't pimp out the new 4K console, which they could have, but they didn't. It was just video games with sometimes people talked. And they got a lot of good press. I mean, invest in Sony if you're a stockbroker or whatever. But if Nintendo doesn't treat E3 with the gravitas it deserves, it might come back to bite them in the ass when the NX does come out. Also, the thing that Fraser from Far From Subtle really talked about is the fact that Nintendo basically lied to us. When the game was first announced and it was still Zelda Wii U back in 2014, they lied directly about the 2015 release date. There were some people out there that bought a Wii U expecting to get the new Zelda game come Christmas 2015, and of course it didn't happen. They pushed it back, and by looking at all the cool stuff they're adding with the openness and the crafting and the cooking and the clothes and all that stuff, this game was nowhere near being done in 2014 for a 2015 release date. They basically lied to everybody. And there were some people out there that did buy a Wii U just for Zelda. If you did that, let me know in the comments. And so I'd feel like ripped off and just lied to by Nintendo. Maybe that's a bit too harsh on them, and maybe they really did intend for this thing to come out in 2015. But all the shit we saw, and all the stuff that was apparently playable, which, from what I hear, went over really well with all the people who were able to play the demo for it. They still wouldn't have had that nearly completed by 2015. And apparently the release date for this, according to Amazon, is December 27th, 2017. Though some people may have thrown like a March or something on there. If it's March, I'm happy, though I wish this could come out for the 30th. But hey, I'll take fucking March. I guess it's up to you whether or not you take that personally, that Nintendo lied to everybody. I honestly don't know what to feel about that. Now, what Lyle McDouchebag said about Zelda Wii U is that everything we've seen in Zelda has been done before in almost every other single open world game. The finding food, the crafting, the cooking, the hunting, the survival, open world aesthetic, the finding items and weapons and clothes and making them better or improving them, that's all been done before. In frickin' Skyrim is what I immediately go to. And if that's just an add-on to what people just want to do in Zelda, which is, go through the dungeons, collect the heart containers, and beat Ganon, if that doesn't add to the experience, then it's just going to seem as a waste of time and not a good open world game. But the fact that they had a playable demo and devoted so much time of their E3 stuff to this Zelda game is a pretty good indicator that they're confident with this game. And what do I personally feel about it? Aside from the generic title, like I said, I'm up for this. You have nowhere to go but up from Skyward Sword. I'll do another video of how much I hate that game if you really want, but I'm excited. I hope maybe that people being so excited will inspire them to work harder on it to maybe push the release date closer to now. If it comes out in December this year, then I'll be happy, but I'll live with March. I don't think I can survive to 2017 in December. And people are saying Nintendo won E3 because Zelda's the most talked about game from E3. Zelda won E3, not Nintendo, because not everybody gives a shit about all the other games they pushed, and everybody's pissed off at Paper Mario. So Zelda won E3, not Nintendo. But of all the games I know I'm probably going to buy, it's going to be Zelda, obviously, when it comes out. Horizon Zero Dawn, that setting sold me. I really want to know more about that world. And maybe the new Call of Duty. It'll be the first Call of Duty I played since Call of Duty 4, but I'm into the space shit, yo. That looks friggin' awesome. Well, that light just died, so I guess it's time for me to shut up and wrap up. So, there's a comment section down there. What are your thoughts on Nintendo's E3? Are you worried about Zelda, kind of like I am, or are you ready to accept this new experience? And how pissed off are you at Paper Mario? Leave a comment down there, and I'll see you guys next time with more videos. Thank you.